He scored. He ripped his shirt off. He put on sunglasses. Iran had just qualified for the World Cup knockouts for the first time in history. Then VAR took it all away. This was the 93rd minute. Iran versus Egypt. A goal that would have sent Iran into the knockout round for the first time ever. VAR disallowed it. The reason involves an offside rule that almost nobody understands, including most referees. Here is exactly what happened. First, the setup. Iran needed to beat Egypt to qualify. Going into the 93rd minute, the match was level at 1-1. Then, Khalilzadeh pounced on a rebound inside the box and put the ball in the net. The entire stadium erupted. Iran were through, or so everyone thought. Now here is where it gets complicated. Normally in offside, the rule is simple. If any part of your body that can legally score a goal is past the second last offender, you are offside. Second last, not last, because the last defender is usually the goalkeeper. But in the Iran goal, something unusual happened. The Egyptian goalkeeper had come way off his line to try to save an earlier shot. He was not standing in goal. He was standing somewhere in the middle of the penalty area. That one fact changed everything. Here is the rule that almost nobody knows. If the goalkeeper is not the last person back, if they have come off their line and another defender is now closer to the goal, then that other defender becomes the second last opponent, not the goalkeeper. The rule does not care about position. It cares about who is closest to the goal line. So because the Egyptian goalkeeper had moved off his line, the offside line was no longer where everyone expected it to be. It had shifted. And Khalilzadeh's foot, just millimeters, was past that shifted line. That is why the goal was disallowed. Millimeters. In the 93rd minute, with history on the line. Now imagine being Khalilzadeh. You score. You rip your shirt off. Your teammates mob you. The whole stadium is celebrating. You genuinely believe you have just made history for your country. Then the referee signals. VAR. Review. The VAR review took a long time. And the reason it took so long is exactly because of this rare offside situation. Normally VAR draws one line through the last defender and one through the attacker. Simple. But here, they had to identify which defender was actually second last because the goalkeeper was out of position. More players to check, more lines to draw, more time. There is also something important here about the semi-automated offside technology. FIFA introduced it for this World Cup specifically to make these decisions faster and more accurate. But the technology struggled with this exact situation because the goalkeeper being off the line created an unusual number of reference points for the system to calculate. Even the technology found it complicated. The decision came. Offside. Goal disallowed. Iran won. Egypt won. Final score. Egypt qualified for the knockout round for the first time in their history. Iran, who had never made the knockouts, would have to wait and hope other results went their way as one of the best third-place teams. Now here's the part that made everyone even angrier. The decision was correct. Based on the laws of the game, Khalilzadeh was offside. Not by much, but the law does not care about how much. A millimeter is the same as a meter. If any part of your body that can score a goal is past the line, you are offside. The referee got it right. VAR got it right. Football fans just do not want to hear that. But here is a question worth asking. If the Egyptian goalkeeper had stayed on his line like a goalkeeper is supposed to, none of this would have happened. The offside line would have been exactly where everyone expected. Khalilzadeh would have been clearly onside. The goal would have stood. Iran would have been through. One goalkeeper decision changed everything. And then there is the Brazil situation, a completely separate VAR controversy from the same tournament. VAR disallowed a Vinicius Jr. goal against Scotland. Brazil were so angry they filed a formal complaint with FIFA comparing the decision to a Lionel Messi goal in another match that was allowed under what Brazil called identical circumstances. 2 decisions. 2 different calls. Same tournament. This is the real problem with VAR. It is not that it makes wrong decisions. Most of the time, VAR makes the technically correct call. The problem is that football fans want consistency. And when 2 similar incidents are treated differently in the same tournament, the technology loses the trust of the people it was built to help. So what did we learn from the Iran goal? 1. The offside line is not always where you think it is. 2. If the goalkeeper leaves his line, the entire offside calculation changes. 3. VAR will always get involved in tight calls, no matter how long it takes. 4 millimeters matter. In the 93rd minute, with history on the line, football is not fair. It is just ruled. Somewhere in Seattle, Khalil Sadeh still has those sunglasses. For about 30 seconds, he was the most famous player in Iranian football history. VAR said otherwise. Subscribe if you want every football moment explained this clearly. KickFile, the file on football.